I'm a king. Gave birth to a track like TLH, and TLH gave birth to a Limpopo mixtape eventually. So I'm on my way to Limpopo now. What inspired the Limpopo mixtape for me was giving back to the community that gave to me. And I was born in Limpopo, so as far as a hip-hop story, even if I were to tell my own hip-hop story, Limpopo would be the place where I would start. SBDL would be my original point, because that's where I was born. I was born in Limpopo in a village called Gamulapo, SBDL, and it's a village that's between Ramaratle and Mitlareng, And we have like one tar road, that's like the main tar road there. And that's the only tar road on that main road.
Makate, it's a better village.
Yeah.
Presently.
Yeah.
And in a hospital, in a police station, in a post office.
Yeah.
Pilkins shows on things like JHP and so on.
Okay.
So I'm representing Pilkins,
Okay.
Except for the villages, no offense.
Yeah. Why not?
I'm a hood, I'm from the ghetto.
I was born in a Tonga-based region, like somewhere it was called Hlanganani, somewhere in Limpopo. Yeah, and then I moved to Kuloledo region. Yeah, you know Kuloledo, I'm judge.
From Limpopo, Zanin. I was born, let's just say I was born around Kongoa. Yeah, around that area. 1987.
My name is Nori P. I go with the government name of Tembisa Mkula, so I'm a Tonga, Kongoa representing 0-5, and that's what it is, man.
I was born in Polokwane, which was formerly named Petersburg. Yeah. My mom's and my pops, they both from Petersburg, so Kafela, Uhlako, Petersburg, and Rabolela,
So that is why I emphasize Polokwane, because even cats from other rural areas, they come like on Saturdays, like I've been telling you, we'll have shows, and then they'll come straight up from where they are to come to perform. Yeah, that is what we're doing right now.
I'm from Kai. Not another times when I rap Foslo, because there's been Foslo ciphers are locked down. My father's family side is this side. My mother's side is in Limpopo. My motherland is in. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not gonna choose. My duality is split in half on both those fronts, so I have to represent on both.
This whole place, like Mokopane, and also the surrounding villages as well. But then Mokopane get town, and then after town, get Mahonere, you know what I mean? Get Lokshin, get more that's where money is based. And then Mahonere is surrounded with these other smaller villages, I'm sure it's not bad, but it's
Limpopo rise, we in here, so let them know, this is the year. No matter what they gon' say, they gon' do Batotala. Turn the music up and let them know Batotala. Limpopo rise, we in here, so let them know, this is the year. No matter what they gon' say, they gon' do Batotala. Turn the music up and let them know Batotala. Hip-hop, this is Limpopo, this is hip-hop. Now that you acquainted, be aware my is about to drop from the villages. See me traveling like meteors, or is it meteorites traveling like mini tours? Hot like paraffin, one flame, burn it out. Hot nigga, spit it out. Far beyond destiny, homie, this is my calling. Ancestors on my BBM telling me keep going, so I gotta let it be. Otherwise they kill me with lyrics like it's KY jelly. Trust me, you gon' feel me. With the culture in this, got your elders listening. Put the province on the back, respect their vision and sound like I'm the fat boy. Put the north on the map, hustling in Jersey, but it still came back. before the hip hop hit, I dropped the guillotine. Limpopo rise, we in here, so let them know this is the year. No matter what they gon' say, they gon' do batotala. Turn the music up and let them know batotala. Limpopo rise, we in here, so let them know this is the year. No matter what they gon' say, they gon' do batotala. Turn the music up and let them know batotala.
Hi sister Tani give me ligo waritsukuta ka dipifo my king ligo tsoka bari ke sejiso nikiting le dipating ke tsena ka mmino ke bula ya fela ntwazera ke boots mole wa di sabapong ha ke lwa ke hlobotse o botse le moruti thapelo ke hlotse go emisetsa le fela fase ke le fofise bino wa le bua ha robetse o gobitse ha re fetja ka wena go seng re o khutise drive by ka decay mona itukise re fofe ka di mic who's the highest re otane ka magadima who's the highness take it back stay in track I'ma let you move now on your marks get set now you ready let's go Limpopo rise yo let's go Limpopo rise yo
Limpopo rise we in here so let them know this is the year no matter what they gon' say they gon' do batotala turn the music up and let them know batotala Limpopo rise we in here so let them know this is the year no matter what they gon' say they gon' do batotala turn the music up and let them know batotala
batotala vele kusate tseka drive tsale hala tsubele matitanyana bana ba tsena ba le bitene go straight in sana ema go to go clever vele ke go peta style sama oh no le femena tsale matitanyana bana ba tsena ba fana ke oh no ema bini tle kwa bona gore mo making ke take tsubele matitanyana bana ba tseba ba di bona gore vele le future bright ba le bitene tsho le twetse satla ke Limpopo mfana o totala sanse beta tabale matitanyana bana ba tsotse ga phapha foto ka ka sana le go tsoko vele tsaba go back to ba ka skill vele ga ba ke go set mo tsotse vele ga le go bona vele tsale to phato fa ka le keke Bibi said take I to the sea from ZB Had to feel like I'm making fun of it or take le matitanyana bara to twist like a sting like bee never feel pala set blind get tight get kind so le manyabanyana bana ke ba bona gore vele ba ntse ba tlola ba ntika ba totala no ma gore ba khala fele ka skills is blind so ba fisher like le gala
Limpopo rise we in here so let them know this is the year no matter what they gon' say they gon' do batotala turn the music up and let them know batotala Limpopo rise we in here so let them know this is the year no matter what they gon' say they gon' do batotala turn the music up and let them know batotala
I decided to go to a place called Zvidiela Ramlap, which is the village where I was actually born and raised before I actually moved to Joburg. And in ZB we find Iceman, who is actually on the last verse for the song Limpopo Rise. I felt like Iceman had a nice style and he wasn't too far removed from the environment to actually tell us more about it compared to I, who had moved to Joburg for quite some time.
Iceman aka Limpopo boy, I'm doing hip hop, man. So this name started when I was at school, you know, like I was like to sell ice, you know, so they call me, hey Iceman, things like that, you know. So that's where the name started, Iceman. So I was supposed to call myself Iceman. Actually ZB it's a nice place, it's a nice place, but most of right now the production. I mean, like hip hop, it's growing in Limpopo, it's just that connection, that's the problem. If we get record companies, things like that, then I think Limpopo is growing up, because you can see a lot of people cramping, you know, rapping. Yeah, see, that's the talent, but no promotion, you know. Yeah, that's what they lack. So I think it's better if we just stand up and do it for ourselves, man.
The Anthony recording studios in Ramolapo's Bidiela. So basically I had to organize this mobile studio that you see me setting up here. so we could actually record the verse. And to make situations worse was that Iceman hadn't heard the beat prior, so he had to hear the beat and just spit something right on the spot, which I think he killed it.
I'm performing at school, you know.
Yeah.
Like when there's a farewell, a fun day, then I'm going there and perform. What I can tell is that many people went in hip hop, it's all about swaggering, you know.
Yeah.
And vulgar words, stuff like that, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not that. So actually hip hop is an art, it's a passion, you know.
Yeah.
So we live it just like that. Can't wait to be in a studio, man. It's been a long time coming.
When was the last time you recorded?
I didn't record, man.
Ever?
Just recorded a tape. That's what I recorded.
My first tape in high school was also a tape.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, damn, man. I've been traveling all around Limpopo. I've been meeting a lot of MC, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just met, others are tight, others are whack, you know. That's how it is. Most of kids, you know, they can't rap in English, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, you know, this is a rural area.
Yeah.
There's a lot of kids that are rapping in Spain, you know, but it's a lot of talent. Yeah, they're going to support hip hop if they hear what we're saying, but if you don't hear what we're saying, then they can't support hip hop, you know.
Yeah.
That's the problem, because you must speak your mother tongue so people understand you.
Yeah.
Give message to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they must feel you like, wow, this boy is intelligent, things like that, you know.
Sometimes when it comes to the recording process, if you're not very familiar with it, it can be tricky, and therefore sometimes lessons you have to kind of like educate the artist what they need to go and direct them, and that's you as a producer, that's what you do.
Oh no, man, over here, man, try hey, what's up, man? You don't want to go perform a stage.
Hey, you
go. Puna lo munga, I want to yeah.
Can you what in the background?
Yeah, nyaga the background.
It's been a long time. I'm rhyming. It's been a while I'm rhyming, man. So yeah, man, I can see myself fall. Because I couldn't just lose hope, you know. I'm rapping about many things that I see happen, you know. So yeah, man, this place is cool. It's just that syllabus is fast, you know. Yeah, I can tell you about time movie. They don't know many things or what's going on. If you do a thing, come on, like, hey, what you doing, man?
Yeah.
If you do things like that, man, you whack, you know. So yeah, man, if you don't have hope, then you can lose. So I don't lose hope. Still now, I'm still alive, man. I'm doing hip hop, man, for real.
Yeah.
Till I die, man, I promise.
Like for me, I've been fortunate enough, like, because I lived in Soweto for a while. And then I talk, and then I holler at you at the same time, you know. So I've got a lot of ways to communicate with people, and that's the beautiful thing about hip hop. It allows you to do that.
I don't think language describes your cultural heritage, and you can't make me grow up listening to Luther Vandross. When I'm 18, you expect me to act like somebody was listening to Masati.
English mostly works for you when it comes to business.
Yeah.
And Sotho and your native language speaks, it works for you in terms of self. Yeah, man, like if you want to communicate with somebody, if you speak in your mother tongue, they are willing to understand what you're saying. But if you talk English, they're gonna say, look at this person now. I wonder, mama, we get out.
Yeah. Our music is not defined by language. I refuse. And I can challenge any policy maker or any professor. Because music is not defined by what language you speak.
English accommodates everybody, it's a universal language. So once I start spitting in my own language, some people won't even pay attention. Play, skip. You can't even hear what he's saying. But
now you can't ask somebody who doesn't understand poetry language and say to them you must sing in their language. Because they're going to be talking. And music is poetry. Lyrical content is poetic. Which is why I can diss anyone that has 4 records on their album saying how hot they are. You know, any day, any of them, they can write about me, it's fine. But you can't write 4 songs about how hot you are.
Look at Chana.
Yeah.
He's just playing with his language, but it's nice. Xhosas love him. Zulus love him.
Yeah.
People don't even understand the language, but they love it, they're vibing to it. It's because of the way he played with it.
Yeah.
When you use your own, like your mother tongue, whatever native tongue, it's much more powerful. It's a much more powerful tool because you reach even the grandparents, even the kids who are still growing. You reach everybody properly.
Language is not that much important, right? It's the message that you get across to the society.
K.O.
Yeah.
He plays with his words. Something there's a song, number 1. It's like everything was kind of cool until whatever, I kind of cool. As in, I grew a big head. You know what I mean? Cool. They make it, kind of cool. Head means calm down. You know, move your head. Like, it's cool. Sounds cool, you know?
Like the generation here, you hear today. Like, let's say now, there's this chick, one year, I speak, I will speak, and this guy, what way? We go to the twanging guy. Now, I think we're not very proud of who we are. Most of us don't even know what the culture is, like how does it work, the customs, the rituals. You know, we're very illiterate regarding that. Yeah,
that's why respect like a speed.
That's why respect like a speed.
Some people become musicians to do what? Become hip-hop artists because they can rhyme and they want to do what? They want to make money. And that kind of a person will do what? Will definitely try and use English to rap in English in order to do what? To reach all people, in order to have more market share. You see? And unlike a person who does what? Maybe loves Kilovedu and then wants to do what? To promote the Kilovedu hip-hop artist, hip-hop in Kilovedu, right? Will rhyme in Kilovedu, but that person wouldn't be putting money as his first priority.
I was always asking people who are prominent when they came through like festivals and stuff, and they would tell me, I don't know, why don't you fuck a little bit of Zulu there and then Tswana there, you know, it's a good formula there, we have a selling product that we can sign you because you're good, but we can't use you.
We don't need to undermine any language. Like like Proverb said, every language is fine, just as long as you can listen to the concept of the music. That's when everything will be fine.
What I'm trying to do is also I'm trying to integrate Tsonga into my music and actually make it sound so good that any person who is not even Tsonga, they'll be like, wow, that is hot.
Even if they don't understand what you're saying.
Exactly. But then in order to get there, I have to start somewhere. So me starting today at least, you know, it's practice.
Yeah. And like Karapaga, Kaspidi Fela, people Tsonga might not even hear what I'm saying. So mixing the language, it's pretty much better, I think, for accommodate other people.
There's no poetic justification of why you're saying something. You know, and you can't because you have a flow and decide why not because you have a flow you're going to rap. And then because you know lingo, we're going to like your stuff. You know, it's I mean a typical example is like Pro. Pro is not forcing his lingo. Whether it's rapping in English or Zulu or Soweto Totital, it's immaterial because of how he delivers. It sounds right. And then there's people that try and sing rap in Zulu and you're like, okay, please stick to English.
My boy, it's not like he doesn't really want to rap in Shanghai, but it's not a strong point, you know. That's what people don't get. Amo is a proud Shanghai, Specs is a proud Shanghai. A lot of cats and rappers who are out there, it's like 80 people, but you find out that he's not comfortable because it's not his strong point, you know, and he's a real rapper, he's an MC, so he feels like if I can't do justice to this, I'd rather let it go, you know what I mean?
Tanin is a beautiful place because it's very green, you know. I think not by design, you know, a lot of places are like, you've got green grass in the backyard. I don't think this is where I feel like nature is like, you can see the beauty of our country, specifically this province. Because of what it shows, there's a lot of scenery and mountains, and you know, so it was for me to try to find hip hop here was a mission and a half, you know, to try to find hip hop where you know. But I've learned that if Shizness can make it here, and if Hype magazine can make it here, there's a lot that hip hop has actually penetrated. It's just that we don't see it. All we see is the guys on stage or the guys on. But hip hop has actually affected a lot of people's lives, young and old. Some directly, some indirectly. And I can't wait for y'all to experience what I've experienced. To go into people's lives, like a snippet, like just take a picture of somebody's life. And for somebody can sit and then analyze that picture and say, wow, this person does that, he's wearing that, whatever, in the picture, and can tell you about it. That's why it's like I didn't want to go in depth. I wanted to show just snippets of particular MCs or certain places that I found had a great effect on me.
Yo, I was born in the underground. You hear the thunder sound? Nope, cause them cats came out at night when the sun was out. Winter and the summer hours. I'm lying, I was on the corner spitting, getting honest. Lately you were in pajamas, now you want a Ricky Ross's. I've been a boss, I've cost a lot of punches on the corner, bitten like the Virgin Mr. Sweeter than the candy dripping, 64 cone spinning. Chevy riding past your vision, your hand is up in my kitchen. Been winning since ever since. And I don't like this, and I shit on rappers so hard and fresh until I end up missing. That's what you get for spitting garbage, son. You get drained and defamed, depending on the records just to maintain. Now you were just a user up in this mainframe with no game. Empty clip on a semi on a half-ass aim. I'm willing to bet anything on my reps, cause time like Alexa shooting contest up. Who be the best? I fire the best like hell in the rest, cause I'm a front line. 2020 general, hands on, wax off, cats to try to shine, but can't polish raps. Certified baseline bully when the mic device is on. Once upon a classified beat, I honed the rapathons. Had the whole game scratching balls and shit to put me on. Doper lines, kept me lifted like dirty hair on. Same song, now my game never getting the dance floor. Still bubbling in the under like mountain iron core. I'm raw. Find my hopes buried deep in the seabed. Plus I'm a sight fed. Hug the mic until your boys fled. Cold red, making the crib sick till the sea walk. It's okay, I'm bringing the street heat that you can't walk without proper protection, proper interconnection. Pop a hole, peek a whole cap for proper locking. Proper heads feeling like when is this nigga dropping? Trappers on the block slinging doper raps for the captain. And you know what his name is, man, Nordic Pete.
I made my way to Tanin to meet a guy named Killer B, who at the time was the #1 Limpopo downloaded artist on Reverb Nation. So it was just a matter of meeting and talking to him and hearing what he had to say.
At the moment we're in Tanin, and the scenery in Tanin is crazy.
Yeah, welcome. This is Killer, straight from TZN, you know, the king of TZN. This is my crib right here. Thick line, 2.5, small so it.
T-line.
It's outside the knee. Next to Ligne.
Okay.
The only thing we need is you need to unite. Yeah, there's a lot of people who can rap, and then they do things like differently. And then some of them, they do their solo stuff, they do in groups, but they don't focus much on the unit. In Limpopo we've got it's English, there is Tonga, there is Venda, Iperi, there's people from Mujaji, they speak different from us. It's yeah, they can rap in that with these people.
Okay.
So we need to unite and form one thing. I think this mixtape introduced by you we can do a lot, man. I did the first mixtape I did. It was the tracks were dope, but it didn't sell that much. And the second one I did my own production. This is the third one I'm working on right now.
Okay.
So on the lookout for Chronicles of a Battle MC. Yeah, that's it. Right now, I'm about to enter to my prep, yo.
Okay.
Killer B is actually the first guy to welcome us into his home and invite us into his room where he actually creates tracks and where he records and he puts his ideas down. Normally with the other guys, we normally meet at different places and never actually in a place where they dwell. So it was great to see an artist in his element. And before shooting, he actually requested if he could change some clothes.
This is the room here. This is where all hip-hop happens. Hip-hop only. Yeah, this I have these posters here of the MCs. Only MCs, not rappers. Yeah. This one is the roots. Almost yeah, all these photos they are from Hype magazine. And then this the hip-hop ladies there. We got Nicki Minaj, science fiction lady. Nadia Kanakai, and then here we got the man here. Yeah.
I mean, wow. I mean, to see myself on somebody else's wall, it's such a humbling experience that because I used to put posters on my wall and of the people that I admired and that I liked, and to finally see somebody else's room and your pictures there amongst all these posters is very humbling. It's very humbling.
I believe these guys are they don't belong to major record labels. They do it independently. They have their own record companies. And then, but they're number one in hip hop, so it's a lot, man. We gotta work hard to get to where they are. I had this one, the first type session, and also the last one, the latest one that we have. Yes. But right now I didn't buy the new one because I don't know what they're doing in Hype magazine these days. They put the CD, you just have to go there and download the tracks. But anyway, I mean, the reason why hip hop has grown in South Africa, I think Hype played the bigger part into introducing hip-hop to us.
I think Killer B's got a valid point because Hype brought a lot of artists exposure, and you know, because of Hype magazine, even my music was actually able to get out there. So shout out to Hype magazine.
There's some guys who are gonna come through my crew and we're gonna do recording here with Spaceman. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So maybe you should watch the space when the track's gonna come out. It's gonna be dope.
Killer B actually invited some of his artists that are under his label to come through for the recording session so that we could have something more to actually document.
This is Genesis. This one, this guy's main name we like Colin Dre on production. Yeah. This has been Bex, man. This is Punk. Yeah, bro. They're from, these guys, the two of them, they're from Lenyanya. This one is from around here.
Okay.
Yeah. Bala Mulomo, kill, I'm rapping for the fofo. So I just hold, you turn up and let my dome. Still got my swag, still rhyme protect. You can catch me in the booth, lace down my beat. I ain't gotta rearrange, man, I'm scared with the curls. Green soppers and best, like I'm studying for the girls. And I sit down, cause I can't stand a whack rapper. Kill double.
If right now I can make a mixtape, the whole mixtape, 20 tracks maybe about English only. About those people who are not educated in our area, about them, they're not going to listen to get the message. But if I can mix in English, mix Berry, mix stronger, at least they can understand. I don't know what this city talk now.
No, to check after.
Yeah.
How does the chorus go?
Space on the track, space on the microphone. Space man got the beats. Man, you rapping for the Limpopo. Man, skills on the track. That is why I'm at the phone. Space man got the beats. Man, I'm rapping for the Limpopo.
Welcome to the north. Welcome to the north.
Everybody wanna know why X is so hard. Gotta whatever no log in, try
Limpopo, Limpopo. Get yourself an umbrella, I make it rain. Give me the mojaji, get I got the flow. Would shy pop, similar to the mango banana. We gotta stay fair behind mics until the corner go. Why shop platinum, because what the jungle, I want to jelly the mic. Wanna get it well, yeah, we never look down on anybody. The haggard chits and I go out window. Gotta stay together like colors of the rainbow. So we see the light. When my fellow long, got straight jump. Channel, yes, man, Rafisha, but Josie Aramid. Wanna speak and see, wanna players on the channels. That's the way we ride. Salasarna, Sibushama, Karapara, you never got to check the Basta device. So we can celebrate together as a tech total control if I smile like Julius Malema. To remain firm like a bar tree when it's cash trying to push me. But I get 30 plus single, feel like I'm a neighbor. X-Men, Muna, what you got to I got a message to all these rappers thinking they own and control the game. You like wine and culture, stress, passing at the Google National Park. You ain't supposed to be in this game. Welcome to the walk for my place. My place, my place, my place. Welcome to the walk for my place.
Give it up to Kale, Munale Mani Giro, English down to Betty. Run around with a beat, my little Joe. Welcome to the north. Welcome to the north. Give it up to Kale, Munale Mani Giro, English down to Betty. Run around with a beat, my little Joe. Welcome to the north. Welcome to the north.
Magala Joe, style says Mahala Joe, show cash, get flow. Tell DJ Murata was space Muna Lemaniki Ro. Limpopo so how Bonche or ready better Joan get super fella. Let the Fata or Limil ready, otherwise no Babella. Style says spices, shoes, and Michito, Limilodi, Yamafabana, ready for Misha and Rana, Elemosili, no Siki, Mutudi Wakana, Limpopo, Lagaga, Musato Waboshi, Sapafella Giri, Hokamukuregiala, Moya Watamalisha, those are a better Unoshi, Namalodi Parapara, Lava Soramara, Mamma Lemagam, House, we got the Taburuto, Monaka Kuto, the age of me rock, I'm a happy minerale. Tell it to call the rat on the toilet, it's a miojo. Some tomato, no, more for Nagayo, Pillar, Chapilo, and Peter, as well as Zelo. I recommend a bunch of Pelo, Rajula Peli, Lidigate, Sele, I'm forever ready to rock steady, because the penny full heavy. Covering a rap, but tell I'm Toramara, Madana, Mama, like a fig banana.
Give it up to Kale, Munale Mani Giro, English down to Betty. Run around with a beat, my little Joe. Welcome to the north. Welcome to the north. Give it up to Kale, Munale Mani Giro, English down to Betty. Run around with a beat, my little Joe. Welcome to the north. Welcome to the north.
This is the making of the instrumental for Welcome to the North, and this is basically my process when I'm making beats some of the times. So I normally try to get a vibe and then start to work on the drums first, just so that I can get the feel of the song. Once I'm happy with like the bass line and just the bottom part, I like to fill up the song. I don't normally use these sounds, but it's just what I hear in my head. Once I got a basic feel of how the drums are gonna go, I like to work on the melody. Now I'm just trying to write the chorus or the flow of the song so that at least I've got something to play with when I make more instruments.
Give it time to Kale, Munale Mani Giro, English done to Betty, when around with a beat, Marita Joe. Welcome to the north. Welcome to the north. Give it time to Kale, Munale Mani Giro, English done to Betty, when around with a beat, Marita Joe.
Once I understand how the flow is gonna go, now I like to like layer it, maybe fatten up the sound of the beat more. Sometimes it's like I hear sounds in my head and I use a keyboard, but just to illustrate, like I hear bottles and stuff like that, so I add For me, the beat is like a bit more bluesy, so I wanted to throw in a harmonica, so I get my hat on and I kind of like get into character and then I throw that in. Like to put the feeling in it somehow, like a realistic, because we use computers so much. So once in a while I like to vibe in the studio, feel if the song is right, doesn't need anything more, but basically the song is done. All that's missing is the vocals.
Like Guinela official camarera, Returba Mipako, Dilenda, if Haucho Ferreira, producer cash in Fana or join Ogare Society, membership fee 24 year canoes, Calavala, 20 year guy, Little Talanyana, Camo site, or Rosurumana, Hono, Mobilanyana, Jim Malo, Rele or Flaka, Cavana, Eric Saramaiki, will keep a bizuka or spana di overtime. Go and show Limpopo Diawe, Diranya, Nelena Galvon, Halegal Village to Ahal, Relica Fish, or Garagan Tea like Jabisham. Banzi ka di chat tailor re ile bo mra phake rola ka bona like pailaka ke ntse ke la tlhela di flows tsa go kitima godimo ga le river la Limpopo river ka Slon Tiwa lo ka tla le goalkeeper.
Let me not go over there.
Yeah.
Let me do something else. Yo, what a guan? Why the tit for tat, ting the rat a tat, ting the time bombing, toe taggings, the tantrums, the target to be tops, titty just talk straight from topsy turvy thoughts. Who took the time traveling tips, who tow trucked them, who tongue tied tail tellers to tangles, who tarnished the temple, tempted the temperamental to triumph as tyrants to the brain and to the base and the treble is torture.
I'm suffering. Hate is bad. So easy, this time is easy.
I make my way to Skukune where we meet Chokos, who's a hip-hop radio DJ. You'll notice in some of the footage that this was taken while we were having a radio interview. That's why you can see DJ Limonka there and Iceman. And he tells us more about hip-hop in the park. He tells us about some of the artists that are around Skukune and what the movement is around there.
Lina Nagara Street in Kina, okay, McDonald's Jam Bohemian, but I like Manora Mukas, who are to Chachokos. Okay, yeah, it's like giving a little bit more, most of the things, so you know, when I'm hotel like Spaceman, it's one of the original, but yeah, Chocos. Hip-hop is struggle, so actually currently no is a struggle at Mokasi. Eric Toma from one Mokasi, it's because of Skukune community radio. I remember there was the former station manager by the name of Abel Komane. All along approach because what we did back in the days is we had poetry sessions. And when they started to launch Skukune FM as a radio station back in 2009, he approached me and don't again into a different go Skukune community radio. We started Trailblazer, it was in November 2009, and then I got a little man hip-hop. But in the struggle for to understand hip-hop as in our own hip-hop. Google FM 98.7, exactly 15 minutes past the hour 7. Like I told you, in the studio, Kinalaba Free to Iceman, I got DJ Lemonka, I got Spaceman up in this, and of course, from now up until 9 o'clock, and of course, as part of they brought goodies. So if you want to get yourself a t-shirt, Limpopo mixtape, man, tune into SKFM 98.7 Trailblazer as in now. Gotta say shout out to my Jinja, King Solomon II, Clear Vision, J Honey, Slim Twice, it's a whole lot of guys, man, that are really doing this.
Okay, I got King Solomon II. My real name is Soli Pasham Shaka. It's Limpopo Skukune, Black Yamanyana Barakiskuno. In my opinion, I think hip-hop, it's one voice. Many people from different backgrounds, but one voice. And I think everyone chose hip-hop for a reason. Hip-hop in Skukune is growing, but what you know, hip-hop is something, it's more than what they thought it was. Since Rena Mola Skukune Tomeo or join our forces, that Tomo united ka hip-hop. Then the Tomo rapper in Venek, Kimoba Tomo Kushisha or hip-hop, it's more than what they thought it was.
Because it's another platform already. We got a project, we call it Hip-Hop in the Park.
Hip-Hop in the Park event in last year, one of most Kukune in Genfest.
Where in every quarter, maybe just a ground or soccer field or anywhere, then I go on and machita then
we started as something small. Then we say, okay, let's make an event where we're gonna unite, socialize, communicate, and get to know each other.
As much as I'm asking I do for a little decent and I go something and I feel busy from 11 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday up until late 6 for the sake of hip-hop.
So it went well until even right closure from Jane Fest, most of us. And event by event, it's going back.
So what we do in Honduras is besides Trailblazer as a radio show on SKFM, we also try to get out there and relate about this thing we're not doing it for the sake of doing it.
Fishness, everything I do for me. I sell ratios, catchy verses, V verses to move masses. I'm too much myself, that's for real. Super serious, supernatural brains is what I got. I'm genius, I'm always focused in this game I play. Meticulous, I ain't going sweet, but the flow is glamorous.
Thobela malapeng, leina la ka ke Kagiso ga monate. Small is the nickname. Mantse ba ka makhula ka nzima ke bereke SKFM. Bringing new elements, new stuff, new style of rap. Yeah, style is simple. We need new styles.
The artists, they want to be like someone. Like Havana, that originality, and originality, something different about you.
We are tired of people copycatting Lil Wayne, Nicki Minaj, Drake. You know, those internationals. We want, but belongore keba local. Renyagabo, Mr. Selvin, Vamokasi, Renyagabo. You know, those hip hop guys, Bamumzanti, Rbanyaka yi.
I wanted to be original. Most of them were never a school, so I wanted to be original. Then okay, let me just start writing rhymes spade.
Batswadi must support bana babo. Tell doctor if as a fellow doctor I guess be talk. If your child was born an artist, let him be an artist.
I would like to tell the people who are charity begins at home. If Batoma will support and no outside the progress support. So I just told me to support from Mofas.
It's about making, like, for example, our parents understand, you know, this is an art form, you know, this is a change the mindset of one
another successful, you need a support. He has told me from outside, supported Toma from Kundru. Even a that stable support from Kundru, Legonte would look at the same support.
On number 12, they paid the way for some of the guys who are actually making big money out of this. And then that's my individual purpose in this whole thing. I know for it, somehow guy can say for other people what they didn't go out of this. So I'm definitely sure we will finish it.
Okay, let me kick it. Yo. Reality portrayed by this word flambés. My energy's evolving itself through life and its mazes. Space amazes, coordinates in their plethora, but still cannot equate with the truth that's found in my Torah. Blow up when I tore up, I'm word signature. I'm shaking spears at your literature. Excelsior perfection, inner mind reflection. Step penetrate to elevate the true reflection. Rap reverberate to renovate truth and fashion. Centripetal flow, even demons cash in. Amphibian soul, lucid, vivid in passion. Tongues of hell lashing, get your lines bashed in. Your pink thong explodes, including that of your next kin. You get left behind during hard times like foreskin. Hits you from inside, intense you ripple in caution. When I walk past the continuum has distortion. So perfect self before you start dissing and flossing. Yo, that's Excelsior perfection. Word.
Come see what we do. You can even come closer. It's so kosher. Rebecca kosher, 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 kosher. Rebecca kosher, 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 kosher. Rebecca kosher, 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 kosher. Rebecca kosher, kosher, kosher. Style selling, but I hustle for the Bambiri until we all touring overseas like Ray Peary. Fat boy hustling, tryna get a quota. Rap like religion, so the flow is holy water. Baptized flows, get a load of this. I'm shooting down stars so I can make a wish. Ish, in case they get rowdy in broad daylight. If I get shows, I'm top billing. I'm in top form, just feeling the beats north. Daddy Kong, 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 like spiky riddy ting, ting, ting. I'll be happy when I'm buried, you'll remember me. A true genius and artist in your memory. Until that day, burn them like cremation. I'm here to send a shout out, live with one nation. Kosha, 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 kosha. kosha, we better kosha, 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 we better kosha, 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 we better kosha, 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 kosha.
I only plunge my fist when I'm grabbing the mic. Vomiting flows make MCs admit that I'm sick. I spit with a tick, guiding the metronome to sync with a beat. I'm quick on my feet, the rest of y'all is Christopher Reeves, can run on the beat. On your mic set, ready steady flow. Hit the patterns first to boss, this shit song of money, yo. Herem ramana na, gia ni bateka nyamin. Take it on a shakata, kuinda yo na kanda kanda. Tama wisa put my diss and I take it and take it and savana dillies. I flow like number one tab. Sharp like my karima flow and my tambi. Vocal I'm a vocal clapping, I should go to this start dancing. Nabemba na famba wa hemba wa tala like bakite ramati sex silent no halaka. Yes, I'm sabbing why. Kaba D them changa in space munna taking over this time.
Kosha, 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 we better kosha, 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 we better kosha, 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 we better kosha, 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 kosha.
Esan dinagale milori ya makuwa litagani manyanyege migongo balovedu binani just like mo rapper kafele ligilikani mora kwa badeja yoli ya elekani gwesha urukulie na ubina guliro kwa badeja strong like utsunje kudi warulu mfana ya ubona zwagala gabagala mkwa badeja arkasogola bujago gor manyora zeba foke knife for baziba lore bo pelogela ya kwa badeja rakuteja riya roba arebo mrepa bale bo roba bari look like sole ewa berlika kiga kwaliki jali gole gili kakis so wana chaba ore can track centrasi awan fana centrasi gi can traki semza nyora like sweet bamzela mkwaba de jo migongo balo belulia walo elkanya ge bureleli logo shekdo le kela age tswane le malwela mino ge khwela age yani le ya rapper mara rapper boza fela elor trauma belela e bana ba kinshela ona do trauma ze gwela zaga ekizana elor ge ale rowa bijani kwela unchusa jaga mangwalo bambiri ge yakila lezo pinigi dralieze agenya go bona trailer muchela wandrena ungi meja uphela like ringa meja ukwarankelevela rakhwa deja.
I make my way to Guyana where we meet Raymond, who's one of the most talented rappers that I've ever met. Definitely has a bright future if he stays in hip-hop. Raymond tells us about hip-hop in Guyana and introduces us to G-Boy, who's a studio owner, and C-Style, who's a promoter and a veteran.
My name is Raymond. That's my stage name also, Raymond. Just Raymond.
Okay, and where are you originally from? And
I'm from here, Limpopo, Guyana. That's my hometown. Basani, that's my village. This is where I live. So yeah. And, I started rapping in like early years, late primary.
Yeah.
But then that shit was whack though. Yeah. The resources, because the internet cafe is far. You could download tracks and all of that. You could do a lot. And then the studio's a little far. I know a lot of people, when I started recording, like a lot of people were like, hey dude, where did you record? So you can tell we don't have much of those things here.
So normally how far do you have to travel before you can actually get to a studio?
Like 19, 20 kilometers. Every time I have to record.
Every time I have to record, yeah. So what do you do for like internet as well?
Internet. Yeah, the internet is in town. Yeah, so it's hard to get to them. It's like 20 kilometers to the internet cafe.
To an internet cafe?
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
You know, this slaps for real.
We might laugh about it and joke about it, but imagine having to travel 30 kilometers just to check your emails or, your Facebook updates. It's crazy because somehow Raymond finds a balance in it, and for him to be able to do that, it shows a lot of determination in what his goal and what his dreams are. I mean, but you gotta imagine sometimes it does take its toll, and you can actually see it. It's hot. It's like it's super hot weather-wise. It's like Limpopo is the hottest. It's one of the hottest places I've been in this country. Now when I was in Natal in Durban, it's not that it's hot. It's very humid, and by humid I mean like the air is thick. But here, the sun. So far, the places that we've been able to visit and travel, we have a lot of bumps because infrastructure, as far as finding proper studios, it's difficult. Finding artists as well, they're spread out. You find that and I mean by artists, I mean like good artists. You know, it's very hard to find good artists. It's easy to find rappers. Rappers are everywhere. We are spread out everywhere. Like you see them in a village, all baggy, but to find all those separate artists and be able to bring them together, it's difficult. Because you have to find the artist. After you found the artist, and the artist must find the right beat. So I produce most of the beats, but I could have not produced for the artist style. So then I have to get to know the artist. Then after the artist, that this is his style, then go back, produce for his style, come back, and he likes the track, then he has to write for the track. And all this time he's traveling, and it's money because even here, just let me show you where we are actually. Just gonna go into studio and see what's cooking. Okay.
Spitting a script right here, that's easy, but then recording is something else. Recording is a whole different story. And the beats too, I get my beats from my friends. Like some of my friends do beats, and then I only met these friends that do beats at the studio.
We are with G-Boy.
I'm the guy who recording. I got a main studio around. I crop the beats, call the guy so that he must pull the flows. Myself, I'm from Eastern Cape. I'm not a Shangan, I'm a cousin. But a lot of people when they see me, they thought maybe I'm a Shangan because I can speak fluently. Every guy is around. He does hip hop. He knows me. Once you say you're looking for G-Boy, they knows me.
Well, if you're gonna rap though, no, I think it'd be better if you're gonna do it in a language that you feel more comfortable in, that you can express yourself better in, right? I'm not Tsonga, right? I just live around here. I'm Peri, and then Gitudile school. I did Tsonga at school from primary school to high school. So I don't know if I'm gonna spit Tsonga, then I think I'd be cool at that. But then Slovedu, see, I did Tsonga like throughout school, and so I just stuck to English rapping. I can do a few Tsonga lines, but then like I'm just English. But then Vernac is dope though. Vernac is dope. I know a lot of dudes that do Vernac. Like a lot of my friends that do Vernac, and then I think these guys are my competition because these are the guys that are around me. And then they spit some nice flows on Vernac lines, spit some nice Vernac lines too. Tsonga, Zulu, Setswana, I work with all of these guys, but then I still spit English.
One way to Limpopo, you probably didn't know it get hot like this though. Yeah, ain't nothing butcher out of here, we got beef too. Down below 30 degrees, what you know about heat though? Not a collect snow, carve on, we sick, carve yo.
Yeah, we have shows. Charlie, him and his guys, I think they do a lot for us because those are the only guys I know right now that are doing something to uplift the hip hop scene here.
The name is Charlie C Style, a main part member of 3-inch Vein. The hip hop here, there's a lot of talent. The kids are more than talented. The only thing missing is a platform, you know, like you can't say you're a performer while you don't have an audience.
True.
Because then the audience here is actually, that's the tough part of how to get the guys performing. How are they going to learn how to coordinate with people, and how are they going to make a music video while no one is willing to fund it, or how are they going to record while no one really knows how to record and master their stuff. So what we're doing lately is trying to get us, the guys who've been doing it for a while, to actually help them do that, because we never really had the platform, you know, because the dream is bigger than just a good freestyle. I mean, anybody can get lucky. You know what I mean?
I wish I could have someone samples like some Tsonga music for me. That'd be great.
People can put new elements to it, like have some, you know, this African drums and stuff. I actually like that a lot more, because then you get originality, you know, something a little bit more home-based, you know.
We have soul too. I know people take sample a lot of international soul tracks, but then we have soul too, you know. That's my favorite. So yeah, I think I'd sample a lot of those. Then I'd sample Tsonga music too, Tsonga traditional music. That'll make a nice track too. Yeah.
If we can teach the people outside Africa something real about Africa, instead of saying the drum, you know, it is the drum, but we need to have people actually fully participate, come in, learn what WHP are doing, learn what people in Limpopo are doing, Tanzania. You know, that's what I'm saying. It's like if we can have unity, then we can have something which we can call original hip-hop.
It's only by leaving Joburg that you start to realize how much is actually getting done as far as infrastructure and roads, because as much as you can want a whole lot of things like in communities, but if the roads and the things to transport them aren't there, it's pointless, you know. I mean, for instance, we added a nature's robot. Basically what they're doing is that they're maintaining the road at the moment. I'm alright, my brother. I mean, people are selling mangoes, you know, right on this, and they're just from a tree just next to you, you know, and it's beautiful to see. Thank you.
It's one of those days where the music ain't loud, beats in the back, just me. It's one of those days where nobody hollering, chilling at the crib with the fans. It's one of those days, ain't no cloud up above, sitting on the dogs and it's smooth as we gathering. It's just one of those things, I just can't explain it. It's one of those.
It doesn't make sense. Why a whole hand can I really pass the test? Don't take me to the past, I can't really carry that cross. I wanna reach all the stars. When I'm a big give I'm a man. I gotta stand up and act.
Hold on. Z, please tell them who you are properly.
My name is Renee too.
No, my name is Z.
Good luck.
Tell him.
Okay.
Tell
my
him
name is Z.
I'm armed with the torch and the flame, found with the fortunate brain, fart on the torch and inhale. His name is Z. I write backwards, form a projection, mirror the words that get the message from your vision's reflection. His name is Z. I'm blessed with the size of a flame. Yes, I'm the size of a flame. Now hold up. Okay, I'll stop saying my name. Damn it, it's Z. I flow, my mechanisms are blessed. I found the beast ripping in ciphers, murdered him with an accent, cause I am Z, yo.
Whether people like it or not, Sophia Tan is the biggest influence of music in South Africa, which means we're mostly influenced by jazz. And feel-good music has always gotten away into South Africans' hearts.
I listen to Salif Keita. I don't hear jack squat of what he's saying. I love the music. I love the music. Just although I listen to him, I don't know what the heck he's saying. That guy is an icon. He's an African icon. You go to the States and ask about him, they'll tell you. You go to the States and ask about a cat who's always trying to be them. The chances are he'll never make it even in South Africa.
But my first proper hip-hop record was Big Nas's record. Everybody laughs when they say Big Nas actually can rap, but they actually harder. That's the funny thing.
Let's look at the artist. You understand what I'm saying? It's perspective, it's point of view. And then from there on, then we can define the music. Because you're only representing relative to your source. If the artist is the source of the music, then we can start defining the music by that.
Actually, a lot of what is called a hit now in hip-hop has elements of what made quite big. Just that the beat is different.
Hip-hop, that's a nice thing with hip-hop, no matter what the topic. As long as you can bring it out and hit your mark, you're good.
I mean, bum, 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 you know. It's like quite.
It just depends on what you attach to. I don't believe that pop or bubblegum hip hop has got a bigger market than boom bap than hip hop.
My explanation of Kwaito is not that it's a 4/4 house tempo. Kwaito for me is a youth movement that expresses what the youth of South Africa feels at a particular time.
Cool Herc came from Jamaica, took the Jamaican ragga / dancehall sound, crossed over to America, and they called it hip hop. Because they didn't have a name for it, they just changed the name, and the accent was American, then the whole thing changed. But you see Sizzla Kalonji doing hip hop right in front of you, it's just that he's doing it with a Jamaican accent. Punchline the same, 4-bar measure, things like that.
I believe that time changes a person. Places where they start to stay, where they settle in continuously changes them.
I moved to Varsity. I met guys who, they're those urban guys. I met them, and then they gave me a change in influence. And what happens when they change your influence? You start rapping in fiction. Sometimes you can say you have money while you don't have anything, and that's not the kind of thing that I like. I admire to rap about things that can develop someone.
A good musician is someone who doesn't only write music to entertain, but actually writes music that inspires people and writes music from things that inspired him.
Do you think that song will appeal to a person who doesn't have that fancy car? Will they like the song when you're saying fancy car? It might. I'm just assuming it might even affect your sales. Okay, he's rich, so why should I buy his album?
There has to be something that the people want to hear. You have to know what you want to give to people. What are you going to say? Are you going to say what the other cats have been saying? Or are you going to give them something new in a catchy way for them to listen to? Because me personally, I would also find it hard to listen to a hardcore lyricist 24/7. I also need something catchy, something nice to vibe to, because I'm a person at the end of the day.
You have commercial tracks, conscious tracks, party tracks, livey tracks, you know? Yeah, club tracks, hardcore tracks for cats, you know?
So I think we do have a different style, because even when I was like reciting my verses to you, you could hear that there's a little bit of difference from you say it yourself, like we cats, we are like punchliners,
Generic is like that's what everybody does, so I'm going with the flow. Not everybody that's going with the flow is making it. cash flow. Ooh, damn, you see, I should go back to rapping.
There's some artists that can come out the booth because of that very fake. But you know what? I've got this sound, and I want to do it, but yes, it doesn't sound like anything from Limpopo that's been done in the past. I can't do it because it's not gonna sound Limpopo-ish. I need to sound then people understand, okay, now this is Limpopo. But I am Limpopo. You understand what I'm saying? That's how it needs to actually start being defined. Then artists will even have the chutzpah to come up with new styles.
At home we used to listen to Too Legit to Quit. You know? In Limpopo we used to say acha at the end, you know? And then we knew the MC Hammer dance moves, all of them. Doom, 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 can't touch this, you know?
Yes, big measure wheeling. Yes, the tree started fast. Yes, big measure wheeling. Yes, pumper. Get it twisted the vest, get it push at the tracks. He will like a shishi and this time around go west. Born a bloma, scan sola, regular saw. Ya emanyana big ngane kare wa lebala malobanyana go pala nje umpitsa malambala. Wanna know I'm back, you can call it swag. Big man sesh time litlo buya deck. BEM I'm free at last. Key to the space man litlo le direla mess. And ga gona le nako ya go bloma. Skankala ke le tshwala hora. And it's a khale na ke tlo no thora. On BEM TV litlo no mpona. Gona jwale no ke le bolesha thupa. Pompa clever utano chupa. Yes, big measure wheeling. Yes, the tree started fast. Yes, big measure wheeling. Yes,
Seka sebaka saka se a re tlo baka motheletša diphala tša kgole le kgoneng go balabala. So right, ke tlo le set until le halalela. So I'm a PLK soldier, sesh town stunner. New look zone 3, sesh town stand up. Ki ba bone gore ba nyaka go tseba gore na ke mang ke tšwa kae ke phela le bo mama kae ba lekile ka lotše bata lefase. Ba nyaka go mpona ke pšhatlegile bjalo ka classic. Batho ba thutše batho name ba seba ba rera ba phela ba thuma tša lefase no ba seba meshe. Ba nyaka go tseba gore meshe o ka ba re ke kgalenyana re mokwele re botše o tla kae. Ye ga sena gonyana ya bona ye ke yaka. This my time and let's roll, yo.
Yes, big measure wheeling. Yes, the tree started fast. Yes, big measure wheeling. Yes, pumper. Yes, big measure wheeling. Yes, the tree started fast. Yes, big measure wheeling. Yes, pumper.
Mulukwane, Tokiyani, Mukopani, Venda, Nishinovani, ZB left cow, you at Palabura, Sesh Town, oh, Scalaba,
I made my way to Polokwane, which is the capital of Limpopo, where I meet a guy named Raymond Shihao, who's a promoter and basically a hip-hop visionary. And he had a couple of ideas and a show that at the time he wanted me to shoot and possibly perform on the day.
My government name.
Any other name.
Raymond Temba Shihao.
I've been staying in Seychelles for the past 28 years. Okay. But now I'm basically staying in town, PLK. The reason we started BAM Leona is about it's backstage entertainment management, basically BEM. But we call it BAM because we're trying to be in your face to show these youngsters, or not necessarily you have to go to Joburg to make it big. And we know what we're still lacking, the infrastructure, but the little that we have, we're trying to build something out of it.
I realized how much Ray actually understood his market, and he was able to gather such a big following, and it made me curious to actually understand why he decided to be a promoter.
There used to be ciphers, library gardens. I went there and then I saw actually there's a gap, or this market isn't catered for. The cats who were doing the ciphers, yeah, they were doing the ciphers, but it was more about them, not about the people out there. So now I decided, okay, let me start this thing. But it must be for the people, not for it must be for them. Just sat down one day on my PC and started a proposal. I started writing a proposal. Okay, I need a venue. Where can I go? Oh, there's this place, Raging Boat. So I wrote a proposal, and then talked to them all. I want to do this kind of thing. We come here on Saturday, we have an open mic session. I'll invite cats to come through and do their thing. And they agreed. And then that's where the whole thing started.
It's inspiring to see that Raymond didn't actually wait for somebody to give him an opportunity. He went out and created his own opportunity. I mean, with such drive, I asked him, what is he trying to achieve?
I'm aiming at filling the new Peter Mokaba Stadium. Every hip-hop, like festival, hip-hop. It's not like festival, it's an expo. We have MCs, graph, producers, beat makers, or sneakers, body t-shirts, the brands around hip-hop. And to expose these cats or the business side of things, this is what you can do with hip-hop.
Hip-hop is such a powerful medium in terms of educating and relating to the youth today. But a lot of the times you feel like the older generation, the hip-hop generation, don't pass on the message, and somehow things get lost in between.
On that event, the exposure, I wanted to have workshops. We have like kids who want to do hip-hop, but like they don't know the structure, how we structure verse, what's a 16? 16 bars, what's a bar? They don't even know what's a bar.
I think Raymond has a point, and I think a lot of people get attracted to the hip-hop culture because of the glamour and the lights. But I think once they're there, once you give them content and lessons and things to think about, that actually stay, and it led to a conversation I had with Raymond about this hip-hop economy idea he had.
No, it's like, okay, use space. On a little beats, I have artists, I come to you and I get beats from you. I give you that money. When you must circulate it around the hip-hop economy. Let's say I own a sneaker shop. You buy from me, you raga the sneaker. Now I take that money, you raga a shirt. I don't go outside that community. I find someone who are selling t-shirt or t-shirt. Because I know it's circulating, the currency is circulating amongst ourselves. We enrich ourselves first before we enrich other people.
Unfortunately, on my first project, I didn't have the luxury to be on some, this track is whatever. The two Doji tracks on my first mixtape, I'll just let them be. Because,
Any roots are in Leidenberg, in Limpopo. That's where my grandfather came from. And he got here and he was like, he's not going back there. But those are my Pedi roots. That's something I've been rediscovering in the last couple of years.
Mushate, ayate, mudimu uribut ish.
Now there's this feeling that I need to have after recording a track.
Yeah.
Like that fulfillment or this is it.
Yeah.
Like every time you record a track, you need to have like, yeah, this is the one.
Yeah.
Dude,
I've seen strange things. There's nothing that you can do that on top some of the things that I've seen.
Mushate, ayate, mudimo urebele moribushele fase, ma hodimo, sotelele wate, gatwe highness, bialoka homo ya fase, hodimo, sotelele wate, gatwe highness, bialoka homo ya fase.
I grew up in the hood, and in the township we speak our own Creole. So I didn't grow up with that perfect spade which I would have loved to grow up with, and it's something that I rediscovered through music. I was just like, you know what, I wanna talk about Ubulela, you know?
Almost there.
Mushate, ayate, kubankele urebele moribushele fase, ma hodimo, di phofolo le di bialo, ka sa gagwe o rebekile se.
This is a dope track.
It always was. I'm the king. It always was. I'm the king.
Production-wise, production you can expect to hear indigenous sounds, dikiba, meropa. That's very unique because I think Limpopo has got a beautiful culture, and as hip hop. Ngira wana Machitago States ba sampula di R&B tša bona, ba sampula di music tša bona. Rena, why aren't we sampling our own music? So the mixtape you can utlokwa di retro with an next to an MC rapper at the same time. Wangere sijo re slakantsha le swega. After that ba swaga.
Since hip hop in South Africa, a lot of people say no, we copy the American people, which is true because we take it from there, but then we can also make it our own by integrating our own cultures. But then the whole thing of us being scared to express our cultures and our background, we don't put that in there.
There's certain generic people that are making it to certain sounds, and there's some people that are doing different sounds. So I mean, let's all face it. Being different is the best way to go, but being too different is not the best way to go.
You might have the pride, but you feel like you express the pride when you're around your people. I think it's more difficult to express it when you're not around your people.
I think it's all about like staying true to what you are and what you believe in, and doing the music that you feel. Someday you'll feel and rock the world.
As we buy and as we listen to music.
Yeah.
So these old people just buy a mountain again and this babo galumaway and that's it. So like you can't find
you can mix maskandi and hip hop just like Zulu, just like this guy drastic. He mixes something like the African stuff inside. That's fine. That's what we can do.
My mother's family is a family of Malopo. So they all have rituals at the end of a certain period where we as a family we gather and then we sing and we just rejoice, I think, But as a now era, we're living in an era of technology and and hip hop is everywhere. So I am under the era of hip hop. So I was born under the era of hip hop. So basically it's the same thing, but in a different tunnel, So it makes a different sound, but it's the same sound.
Yeah.
The second album is going to be containing a whole lot of African elements. It has to, because that's who I am, you know. If I don't do that, I sample Anita Baker, I can't sample Matlatino, Ponto for Thomas Signori or Slile Slaughter for, you know, I just don't understand why we don't do that. Even collaborations, who would dream of collaborating with somebody else from out there, and it doesn't do justice to us, it never sells.
The beauty that you can do for yourself as a musician, especially as an African-based musician, is to continuously study rhythms and sounds and instruments from Africa. But what you mustn't do is feel like your music is inferior. One. Two, feel like you're locked to remain heritage. Because that's what you say. If we say, oh, no, you gotta sound true to African, and I'm asking you, but being true is being true to yourself. You can't be, if you're gonna talk about being African, like first address how I grow up.
It always was, I'm the king. It always was, I'm the king.
Iriki go sebeleka sama baribari ke tsoga jozi ke tsoša ke toro ya twale e bolela iriki tswere molaitša go ya bogoši kwa gae ba re ya swa ke bona tau e ya rora e re tima mollo ka molora e re setšo sena wa se lahlana o butši gauteng o sanratana ke re ke go tlišetše kiba ke tša meropa mamothare tla ba thiba ba bone naga ba tlile ka dikepe ready to take what is ours ka dimepe monna tšere tšeke tša dikgoši tše badimo bampidi tše dinaka ke le letšetše ke re tšeke tša dikgoši tše badimo bampidi tše dinaka ke le letšetše ke tša dikgoši tše I'm a king, son. Ke tša dikgoši tše I'm a king, son.
Modimo o re beile mo re buše lefase magodimo tsohle le lewate gatwe highness bjalo ka kgomo ya fase a re fa maatla diphoofolo le dibjalo ka sa gagwe o re betlile setshwalo eya fela bjalo fela eya bjalo ke boela go tlaba tšatši ke ya pere letlalo ba tlaba mogolokwane ba ntheta direto tša magoši ba didietša mogoši go bilwa go tsilwa meropa diphala dinaka le pula shebao go mmaka mebala-bala botle bja matoba botle bja lehlabula ke futla le nngwe ke re phadimadinaledi
ke tša dikgoši tše I'm a king, son. Ke tša dikgoši tše I'm a king, son.
It always was, I'm the king. I'm the king.
I'm a king, son. Ke tša dikgoši tše I'm a king, son.
It always was, I'm the king.
The story is not over, you know. The credits might go up, but the story is not over. There's a lot of untold stories. I think Limpopo has a lot to give and to deliver, And once the province itself wakes up and decides that you're going to take this seriously, then serious things are going to happen. And I'm hoping that's going to happen soon.
For people who are something that they can relate to. Because hip-hop loses the plot. I inspire Tupac. Keep your head up. You know you're going somewhere. Hey, man, check about Limpopo, come on. Black and yellow, black and yellow. Look at me now. Look at me now. I've got a chopper and a car. Nana, we try to force Nalga star. Yeah, so negative. But otherwise, hip-hop banally beef before they can even establish themselves. They're like in the beef, they're right here. That's why they'll never work together. No more approval at the point. No more perform back off stage or they'll work. But banally degree hip-hop. But all the right minutes are my work. So only get more important.
Sipitiela guarina munen bareke batsene so school them. That means keep a teme so picture. Wanna high kakafrahara. Dreaming of a rapper's life. Fabu chamare. Hasidoro fella mama gotta make it out. To a better life I gotta find my own route. So ball pene yasuna pambiri. Found a style that digs deeper than the biri. Ukai tibana. Can you cut it man like ukai serana? Men versus moon. Change that mupeme. Style like Murole when I tau shebe. That's why melody yale buwala tari trongo. I'm fresher than my keze atapela pompo. From he to Pitori, they know who regi dance. Like a fish. Give Brian a magari vest.